All right, so the Detroit Lions, coming from Mike Garafolo just about 20 minutes ago, have made an interesting move. The Lions, according to Mike Garafolo, have agreed to terms with a veteran quarterback, Kyle Allen, source says. Following a season with the Steelers, Allen joins Detroit's quarterback room behind Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker. And why I said Hendon Hooker at the end of that sentence is, you see it on the thumbnail, what does this mean for Hendon Hooker? Now, I know Jeremy Reisman, all the Lions insiders, first off, were like, what? Why did we just do this? And Jeremy Reisman said, I believe it was Jeremy Reisman, it was him or Dave Burkett, I think it was Jeremy Reisman, said that the Lions, this way, they got a veteran quarterback at the quarterback 3 to teach Hooker and stuff like that, and for training camp purposes. I'm going to disagree with that. I don't think that's the case at all here, because you have Jake Fromm. He's a veteran quarterback. He is the definition of a veteran quarterback who's been shipped around, who's dealt with it all. He showed lots of promise last year in the preseason, former 5th-round pick. He has potential to be quarterback 3 next season, potentially even quarterback 2. So this doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. If we didn't have Jake Fromm on the roster right now, then I do believe that this means absolutely nothing, and that he would just be our quarterback 3 for training camp and practice squad guy, whatever. But the fact that Jake Fromm is still on the roster, and of course we still got Goff and Hooker, I think Hooker's on his way out. Now, there's only 2 teams off the top of my head that absolutely need a quarterback. That's the Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Giants had, I believe, Russell Wilson come in for a visit today, and Joe Flacco, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, but Joe Flacco, they had come for a visit today to potentially be their starting quarterback. And the Steelers, they've been rumors going around with Aaron Rodgers' weird self dressed up in a vest and wherever he's at right now, Idaho or whatever, Hawaii, wherever he's at. There's rumors that he's going to potentially sign there, but I don't know. Those are the 2 teams off my top of my head that absolutely, no doubt about it, have to get a quarterback. Right now, the Giants starter is Tommy DeVito, and right now the Pittsburgh Steelers starter is Mason Rudolph, who they also signed today, and he's horrible. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think Hooker's getting traded. He has 2 more years left on his deal. I've heard rumors that teams do view him. I think it was NFL Rookie Report or NFL Rookie Rumors or something like that. I forget what they go by on Twitter. They are fairly accurate. They come out with a lot of rookie prospects and stuff like that. And they put out a couple of weeks ago, said that multiple teams still believe Hooker can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think the Steelers or Giants could be one of those teams. Now, the Giants, there's 2 quarterbacks that are for sure going to go within probably the top 10 this year. That is obviously Cam Ward, who's most likely going to go to the Titans. They need a quarterback, but if they don't get a quarterback, it's not the worst. They still have Will Levis. And Shedeur Sanders. The Raiders, they need a quarterback, but they got Geno Smith in the trade. And then the Seahawks need a quarterback to replace him, but they signed Sam Darnold. The Jets don't need a quarterback anymore because they picked up Justin Fields. So the only 2 options that make some sense to me is Giants and Steelers. Maybe the Vikings, maybe, but I highly doubt that because they got J.J. McCarthy. They do need a quarterback too. I don't think they have a quarterback 2 on the roster right now because they did lose Daniel Jones and obviously and Nick Mullins and Sam Darnold to free agency. So they need a quarterback too, but I highly doubt they trade for him. But in my opinion, I do believe the Lions have gotten an offer from a couple of teams. Now, what would I trade Hooker for? I do think Hooker can be a very talented quarterback in this NFL. You've seen glimpses in the preseason. You've also seen a lot of stuff he needs to work on, and that he's not good at all right now. That makes him look like a horrible quarterback. That makes him look like DTR. No disrespect to DTR. I loved him coming out of the draft, but man, he's not good. But Hendon Hooker, what would I trade Hendon Hooker for? Now, in my opinion, we drafted Hendon Hooker in the 3rd round. He was projected to go late 1st, early 2nd in that year's draft. We got him in the mid-3rd round. Now, Hendon Hooker, he has 2 more years left on his deal. He's extremely old already. He is 27 years old already. However, the fact that he has 2 years left on his deal and teams that potentially do view him as a starting quarterback still in this league makes me think we could potentially get a 5th or 6th-round pick for him. And if I'm the Lions, I'm 100% accepting that. Now, I do understand that Hendon Hooker does have the potential to be a starting quarterback in the NFL someday, and you've seen the glimpses, and he's kind of a quarterback that we haven't had in years, and I mean almost over a decade, that we haven't had a type quarterback like Hendon Hooker who can run, who's very agility. I mean, we had David Blau, but he's not a running quarterback. He's just more agile than most quarterbacks that we've had. But Hendon Hooker is a legitimate agile quarterback who can scramble and get you some yardage. We've not had a quarterback in almost a decade who has been able to do that. So My opinion, if a team has offered us a 5th or a 6th round pick for Hooker, especially a 5th, I'm accepting that 100% because with how talented this draft class is, I mean, yeah, your quarterback room is not going to be the best. You'll still have Jake Fromm and Kyle Allen as your backups, but it won't be the best. So you still have UDFA free agency. Maybe you draft a guy through one of your 7th round picks or something to compete for quarterback too. I don't know. Again, there's still some veteran quarterbacks out there. Joe Flacco, Taylor Heineke just got re-signed. Trying to think who else is out there. Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston's out there. Um, there's more guys that they're flying off the top of my head right now. Case Keenum's out there. So there are some veteran quarterbacks out there you can go get that probably are better than these guys right now, than Kyle Allen. But I legitimately do think that Hendon Hooker's probably on his way out. I don't understand why we would sign Kyle Allen if Hooker isn't on his way out because we have 4 quarterbacks on the roster then. We haven't had a quarterback get hurt since 2021 with Jared Goff. Like that had a legitimate role on the roster. So let's go ahead and take a look at Kyle Allen's stats and we'll wrap this video up. Kyle Allen, 6'3", 210, good size. He's 29 years old, just turned 29, matter of fact, less than a week ago. From Houston, he had 19 passing yards this season, 99.4 quarterback rating. He actually was a former starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers in 2019 once they released or traded, I think they released Cam Newton. Or I think he sucks so, I don't think they released him, I think he sucks so bad that Kyle Allen started 13 games for the Carolina Panthers in 2019. Again, former UDFA, 2018, only played 2 games, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. Quarterback rating of 95.2. 2019, like I said, started 13 games, 62% completion percentage, 3,300 yards, 17 touchdowns, 16 picks. That's a lot of interceptions, but the touchdown ratio is not bad. He was sacked 46 times, too. You got to take that into effect. Quarterback rating was horrible this season, only 38.3. Now, I haven't watched any highlights on this guy. Now, I don't know. Since I've been on YouTube, I started my YouTube channel almost 2 years ago, but I've only been talking Lions content for a little over a year now. I don't know what this means in terms of the aspect of, or what I was going to say is Kyle Allen is a guy that I really wanted the Lions to sign when we didn't have a backup quarterback with Bridgewater or Hendon Hooker at the time. Again, I don't know if I was on YouTube when I wanted the Lions to sign a guy like Kyle Allen. Like, he was one of my top priorities as backup. I'm not like, that we'd have an elite backup in this guy. I just thought this guy had a lot of potential in the fact that he started for the Panthers and he was always a good backup quarterback with the Commanders and even the previous season with the Panthers. I'm like, this guy has potential. I liked him coming out of Washington. So, or Houston, excuse me. So this is a signing I'm fine with. I'm completely fine with the signing. I just don't understand it. So I'm not going to grade this signing. If it means just a depth piece, fine. If it means we're trading Hooker, fine. I would like to improve, but it is what it is. You saw the glimpses of Jake Fromm last season. So, and then he went to the Commanders in 2020, played 4 games. This is where I remember him the most, but I do remember him on Cleveland when he had to start the 13 games because Cam Newton sucked so bad. He played 4 games in 2020 with the Commanders, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 68.2 quarterback rating, sacked 7 times. 2021, he played 2 games with the Commanders, 63.2% completion percentage. Completion percentage, by the way, in 2020 was 69. 1 touchdown, 0 picks, 29.3 quarterback rating, sacked 2 times. Then he went to Houston. I think he actually got traded to Houston. He played 2 games, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, probably his worst season of his career, only quarterback rating at 3.7. Then I think he got traded again, or he signed with them. He might have got, no. I think he got traded from Houston to Buffalo. No, he got traded from Washington to Houston. Yeah, that's right. He got traded from Washington to Houston. Again, I was a big Kyle Allen guy, so I do remember what happened with him a lot. They played 7 games with Buffalo, no statistics backed up. Josh Allen, that would have been something. Imagine we thought we signed, if you've never paid attention to football and didn't realize Josh Allen just got the now has 10 years left on his deal, you probably would have thought we just signed Josh Allen. But no, we signed Kyle Allen. But again, he was the backup for Josh Allen when Mitchell Trubisky went down in 2023. And 2024, he only played one game with the Steelers. He played against us in the preseason, was okay. And yeah, that's just the statistics. He can also run a little bit in his one starting season with the Panthers. He had 106 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. So that's also something to keep an eye on. Let me see if he's got. Let's take a look at his college stats, because why not as well. Not horrible college stats. Only played 3 years. 2 at Texas A&M. His first year, 16 touchdowns, 7 picks. Then 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. Then he transferred to Houston, 4 touchdowns, 4 picks. So I don't mind this signing at all. I just don't understand it. This does wrap up day 4 of NFL free agency. I said to myself too today, if the Lions were going to sign anybody, it was going to be late tonight again, just like 2 days ago when we signed. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I just have to show this. Brad Holmes Bulge. I followed the guy. He just made me thought that we just signed Jesse James again for a second. That would have been something. Oh wow, that would have been something. Um, but of the defensive tackle that we just signed, he's going off the top of my head. I don't know. I can never. Roy Lopez. He always keep going off the top of my head. That's just not a name I can keep in my head like that. Um, but I thought that this was going to be a type move that if the Lions are going to sign somebody, it was going to be like what they did with Roy Lopez 2 days ago. It was going to be streaming late at night because they officially signed all their players. Make sure they write it down on paper. That way they can extend and re-sign their guys. DJ Reed signing became official today. Anthony Pittman, Trevor Nowaski, he did get re-signed. That also came out today. He got re-signed. And again, Roy Lopez, Grant. So those are all the news that came out today and what happened. But again, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm still trying to figure out what this means. But yeah, is Hooker on his way out? If he is, and we can get a 5th or 6th round pick for him, sign me up. Sign me up. One, probably go Lions. Still trying to figure out what's going on.